This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Tonight, the cause of a massive fire that destroyed a vacant historic church in North St. Louis last night remains unknown. This is the third recent fire at the former St. Augustine Roman Catholic Church in the St. Louis Place neighborhood. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Records indicate it's a city landmark and owned by the city. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer is live in studio with more details from the fire department and neighbors. Diamond?
Well, Mike and Ann, the fire burned for nearly 2 hours at the vacant building. The St. Louis Fire Department says the cause of the fire is still being investigated. One of the things investigators are considering, along with other causes, is if a homeless person was seeking shelter and trying to stay warm. For the third time since 2022, flames bursted out of the nearly 130-year-old building known as the former St. Augustine Roman Catholic Church.
Discharge 1.
Nestled in the corner of Lismore and Hebert Streets, flames reached the height of the 250-foot steeple. 60 firefighters fighting the 3-alarm fire Monday evening. Neighbors, including Sue Rakers, came Tuesday to photograph the crumbling history.
Buildings like these are hard to maintain and keep up, but they're treasures. And the city, I just wish the city would take more interest in trying to preserve them.
City documents show it's owned by the city's Land Reutilization Authority. It's designated as a city landmark and listed on the National Register of Historic Places. And before the city owned it, a couple tried to restore the church, calling it Project Augustine. But plans quickly fizzled in 2020 when they couldn't receive enough donations for restoration.
It's unique.
Charles Rawlings, a neighbor in the area, is calling on the city to do something more.
We need to find some way to either barricade them up or just guard them off and renovate them.
The fire department's chief, Dennis Jenkerson, says the building is unsafe and at risk of collapsing.
So I'd rather see it taken down the right way so that we protect the homes that are still viable on the street. But then again, you look on the other side of that, it's like, this is a landmark. This is a beautiful piece of architecture built in the 1890s.
It's unclear what the future of the building will be, but Rakers wants to take photos as long as it's around.
There's so much that St. Louis has already lost. So we just try to document it while we can.
The fire department confirms the building department was on scene last night, and the Land Reutilization Authority, the division of the city that owns the church, tells us they'll conduct an analysis of the property and continue to look for ways to secure vacant buildings.
A man is dead and a woman hurt after a house fire in St. Francis County. It happened just after 5 o'clock last night. Local fire crews tell us the man, who was paralyzed and lived in the home, was trapped inside. Several people tried to go in and rescue that man but could not. The woman, who was his mother, was taken to the hospital. The cause of that fire is still under investigation.
Polls for the Illinois primary election close in the next hour at 7 o'clock.
A closely watched race is happening in the 12th Congressional District. Incumbent Mike Bost is running against former state lawmaker Darren Bailey. We have team coverage. Robert Townsend is with Darren Bailey's camp in Louisville.
And Laura Barczewski is with Mike Bost's camp in Murfreesboro. So let's start with Laura.
Mike and Ann, Congressman Mike Bost has had a lot of confidence going into the primary today. He's been hitting the campaign trail hard the last couple of weeks, even all the way through yesterday. And he's actually held this seat of the 12th Congressional District since 2015. He's been in politics for decades, including a stint in the Illinois State House as a representative for 20 years. Issues he says he wants to continue to focus on if elected are agriculture, health care, securing the border. In this race, he's had some pretty big endorsements, including former President Donald Trump and the NRA. He's even touted his experience in Washington as a selling point.
At a time when this nation needs someone there, and this district needs someone there that has the experience, because there's a lot of things we know as members of Congress, and you need to know a whole lot more than where the bathroom is when you first get in.
He'll be having a watch party here in his hometown of Murfreesboro, Illinois at this tap house behind us. And I'll bring you more coming up tonight at 10 on our full coverage. Reporting live in Murfreesboro, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Bost challenger Darren Bailey is a farmer who launched a long shot bid for governor last year. Now he's got his sights set on Congress.
Let's check in with Robert Townsend in Louisville. Robert.
Hey there, Ann and Mike. Right now, the mood is pretty quiet and extremely low key here in Louisville. Take a look. We're outside the Full Armor Christian Academy School. This is where Darren Bailey, his wife Cindy, their family, and Bailey's supporters will all gather to watch the results of today's Illinois Republican primary come in. Now, about 30 minutes ago, we caught up with Bailey outside this school. Currently, the Southern Illinois farmer does not hold a government job, but he tells me he is not letting that, nor the fact that former President Donald Trump did not endorse him for the primary, stop him from pulling off what he calls a big win for Illinois' 12th congressional district. Last night, you'll remember the former Republican state lawmaker rallied voters and addressed the Illinois Rifle Association in Marion. Now Bailey hopes the final votes will swing his way.
I'm feeling very confident. We've always had a fired up grassroots movement, and so no, as those last, since the beginning, the movement, the wheels seem to be working, the fire seems to be churning, and at the end of the day, I believe that our people are going to show up and they're going to say, we demand change, and I think I have full confidence that is what we're going to wind up with tonight.
And back here live, the parking lot is starting to fill up. Bailey tells me he celebrated his 58th birthday on Sunday. He says a big primary win today will definitely top off his week. We'll see. Live in Louisville, I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
To get your Illinois voting guide, just text the word guide to 314-425-5355.
And we've got you covered after the polls close tonight. 5 on your side. We'll break down the results tonight at 10. You can also scan the QR code on your screen for up-to-the-minute election results, or find them at ksdk.com/elections.
Starting tomorrow morning, the busy McDonald Bridge will be closed in North St. Louis County. Radiation concerns will be addressed. Our Justina Cornell has more details about the demolition in Hazelwood.
The McDonald Bridge is a 73-year-old structure which spans Coldwater Creek. It will close and then be demolished.
That's when the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers will step in. The removal of the bridge will allow the agency to have easier access underneath, which has radiation-contaminated soil. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers tells me this area has the highest remaining levels of contamination in North St. Louis County. This area used to be next to the original storage site, which held radioactive material connected to the first atomic bomb. We're told about 6,000 truckloads will be removed, and it could take quite a while because there's a lot of contamination underneath.
We are looking at the majority of McDonald Boulevard adjacent to the St. Louis Airport site, the original storage site, which is why it is so contaminated underneath there, and we're looking around 40 to 60,000 cubic yards of contaminated material to be taken off-site for disposal.
The removal of the contaminated soil could take as long as 10 months. Once that soil is removed, a new bridge will be built. Reporting in St. Louis County, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
The bridge is closing tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Drivers are advised to use Banshee Road as a detour, and we're told about 15,000 cars cross that bridge every day.